Good morning, this is Hector Rivas with While You Were Sleeping. One matter remains. The only hope in averting a total Hitler fascist coup emanating from the backers of Barack Obama and Barack Obama himself is to enact Glass-Steagall right now. The final vote yesterday turned up 174 from the Republicans and 95 Democrats voting in favor of Obama's Hitler coup, agreed upon at the White House Sunday meeting. The bill to authorize a Supreme Congress to act on and initiate an additional trillions worth of cuts, whether the actual legislative body of the federal government approves of it or not. Those who voted in its favor, those who consented to Obama's will, have earned themselves a rightful place in the defendant's chair of a modern-day Nuremberg trial. Stated last night and earlier this morning, Linda LaRouche voiced that this vote brings us that much closer to the imminent destruction of the United States. The people who voted for it have committed an act of treason on behalf of a foreign power, whether they knew it or not. In viewing Nancy Pelosi's statement after turning to vote in its favor, it's revealed that certain members of Congress knew that they were signing on to bring about the death of the United States and the world at large, virtually at the point of a gun. To the press, Pelosi stated that the bill might be a Satan sandwich, but I will absolutely support it. Following comments from Representative Emanuel Cleaver, who voted against Obama's coup, who identified the president's debt deal as a sugar-coated Satan sandwich.
The 264 congressmen who voted to support Obama's coup have committed an act of treason, whether they are conscious of it or not. If the implications of this vote are allowed to stand, and Obama is allowed to have his way, the total destruction of the United States will occur in very short order. By virtue of the mass of deaths of American citizens and others around the world, which will occur as a result, those who voted in support of Obama now find themselves with blood on their hands. And just as was said in the tribunals at Nuremberg, ignorance is no excuse. Known or should have known. The support for this emergency decree, for Obama's enabling acts, is an act of treason, a criminal violation of the U.S. Constitution. This vote represents the nullification of every essential feature of our federal constitutional system, and the loss of the United States as a free and independent republic is now assured unless this president is called to account for this treasonous crime committed on behalf of the British monarchy. The coup we warned you about is now here. The British Empire is out to eliminate any and all opposition to its power as the world financial system comes down. Obama was planted in the White House with only one purpose: the destruction of the United States. He has blocked every effort to assert our sovereign constitutional right to protect our people in the face of the enemy. He has opposed the orderly reorganization of the gambling debts accrued by London and Wall Street. He has colluded with a foreign power to orchestrate an environment of terror to force through this fascist coup. He has formed an unconstitutional body in the form of a super Congress to dictate fascist austerity against American citizens. He has eliminated the power of democratically elected representatives to challenge, debate, or amend these murderous cuts. And he has declared that the Congress has no option but to concede their legally mandated power to grant him and his chosen Committee of 12 total and ultimate control over the lives and destinies of our people. And last night, in an act of high treason, the Congress conceded to this dictatorship.
America, the truth is that every bit of policy emanating from this administration, all building into the recent House's passing of the president's debt deal, is an act of war against the American people. The bailout policy. What else is the bailout policy but a modern-day decree of Adolf Hitler's useless eaters program? Look at the facts. Of the $2.8 trillion in bonded indebtedness of U.S. states and municipalities, $500 billion was estimated to be directly the result of fraud by Wall Street derivatives and interest swaps. Former chief executive officer of a defunct New York brokerage firm even admitted to having conspired with major financial institutions in creating fraudulent bids on municipal derivative contracts. Bank of America Corp., UBS AG, and JP Morgan Chase all admitted to an investigation that they too engaged in fraud. And who are these institutions? The recipients of Obama's bailout. The Wall Street banks who admitted to an investigation that they indeed committed fraud against U.S. municipalities and are rewarded by this president with taxpayer money via bailouts, via quantitative easing. By this president who at the same time tells the American people that they should sacrifice and tighten their belts. An act of war on the people of the United States, an aggression to be ended with simply enacting H.R. 1489 to enforce Glass-Steagall, and all these fraudulent claims will be canceled. The bailout made illegal and void. The threat of an ultimate fascist coup with their puppet Barack Obama averted. But we have to choose that we wanted and fight vigorously for it. Time is running out. The Supreme Congress is essentially in place. If we let this president go this far, what else will we concede?
The privilege of opening the first trial in history for crimes against the peace of the world imposes a great responsibility.
After the trials in Nuremberg, said to the world that though they knew they had consented to Adolf Hitler, they did not know what happened. They did not know it would lead to such a massacre. In reality, they knew it was going to happen the very first day they consented to what they knew was a Satan sandwich.
The privilege of opening the first trial in history.
LaRouche PAC and the six-candidate LaRouche Democratic slate is calling on all Americans to join us immediately to oppose this dictatorial coup. We have only one weapon for the strategic defense of this nation: the immediate reenactment of Roosevelt's Glass-Steagall. Glass-Steagall will bring our enemies to their knees by bankrupting the British system, and will finally restore the sovereignty of the American constitutional republic. Only the full and total commitment to this piece of legislation will give us the power to head off this fascist coup d'etat. The Democrats have failed. The Republicans have failed. Now it's those patriots who are willing to fight beside Lyndon LaRouche and the six LaRouche candidates who have the moral authority to lead this nation. To throw Obama out of office, to halt his Hitler coup, and to defend the Constitution of this republic against our enemies in the British Empire. The battle has just begun. We will not give up this war.